Greetings, this is Polly of the Spooky Polly. As you can judge from the thumbnail what the topic is going to be. How many times this year in the media have we heard Donald Trump described as Hitler, a Nazi, a fascist, and this from all the mainstream media, of course, CNN and MSNBC, the worst. They said the Hitler word just outright. And was supposed to believe that, hey, I mean, if you don't know who Adolf Hitler is, it has no meaning. If you know who Adolf Hitler is, then you say that's ridiculous. There wasn't just Trump. There was his MAGA followers, brown shirts. I didn't say brown shirts, but that's what they meant. Well, as you know, as we all know, but wait, let's back up. November 4th, the liberal media and the elites who went with this narrative that Trump was a Nazi had a certain belief that what they said would come to pass. That the people, once they hear these oracles of wisdom, would say, yeah, Trump is Hitler. It makes no sense whatsoever, but they said it. It's on TV. Must be real. Well, come November 5th, and that must have been a shock to a lot of them. Because one of two things must be true. Either the American people elected Adolf Hitler, or the people don't believe the media who said he was Adolf Hitler. There are winners and losers in elections. One of the losers was, of course, Kamala Harris, who will just disappear. But another big loser, and I mean perhaps the biggest, was the mainstream media, because that had to be a shock to them. They realized that what they said, and they repeated over and over again how bad a person Trump was. And what it didn't stick. Back in the heyday of Watergate, when they were able to tar Nixon and, really cause him to lose his presidency, men had won a huge mandate in 72 elections. And boom, he's gone. Well, those heydays are over because they said far worse about Trump than it did Nixon. And it just didn't mean a thing. Your lies have caught up with you. We don't believe you anymore. Okay. As we know, mainstream media, it's corporate media, it's bought media. These people on TV are actors, basically. They're not journalists. They're told a narrative. This is a narrative, and you have to follow it. I know they believe it or not. It's not important. The idea is you follow the narrative. And it's also Fox News. When Tucker Carlson didn't follow the narrative, out he went. And that man was tops in his field. So they all do it. Now, I don't get my news, to be honest, from TV. I get it from the internet. I get my commentary from the internet. Because, why go to corporate media when they're just rehashing what the bosses believe? I'd rather have true conservatives and true leftists who their personal beliefs enunciate their opinions. Now, the word Nazi on Trump was really rot here. I mean, it's guys like on the left, Hans Piker, Vosh, Destiny, they'll use that word freely. Oh, Trump is Hitler, Trump is Hitler. His followers are Nazis. I wish we'd stop that. Because you don't know what you're talking about. Adolf Hitler, he's viewed as some kind of anti-Semite. He's no more than that. He had the ideology that the Aryan man was the ideal. If he didn't meet that ideal, wow, we get rid of you. He got rid of all those that didn't meet the ideal. Or who were not Aryan. How many Russians? How many Poles? They looked no different than Germans, but what the heck? They weren't German. He also got rid of the mentally handicapped, the physical handicapped, terminally ill, dwarves, gypsies. It wasn't just Jews. Anything that didn't meet his racial, litmus test went. And that's an evil that's hard to imagine. And why do you use that type of thing on current politicians when none of them believe that? You just, I think, denigrate those that died. To Varsha, one of the worst examples of it. Everyone's a Nazi, who he disagrees with. Everyone, Trump especially, is Hitler. Detsy does the same thing. Hans Piker, is bad as a lot of them. I mention these three because they're the three of the bigger ones. I don't even talk about the female lefties because they're beyond. I mean, it's difficult to deal with this. I'm not saying that there are a lot of conservatives that cross the line, but why don't we just draw a line here? Don't call him a Nazi, 'tis a not. Nazism was of Adolf Hitler, and when he died, it went with him. Just close the book on this. But, mainstream media, I think realizes now that they're on decline. MSNBC, CNN, their ratings have tanked, and they might even be around next year at this time. This is for the best. This is good. Let our media come not from corporate sources, but from independent sources, smaller sources, but don't have that corporate paycheck, and you go along and get along if you want your check. I'd rather have some small YouTuber punching out something, and it'd be more truthful than I get on with the media. Media don't even watch it. I mean, it's the national news. At one day it was important. At one time it was, it was what you watched. Not anymore. Who watches it? I don't. And apparently no one else does. Or if they watch it, they just don't believe them. Okay. This is my little bitch. Now we're gonna have, since I brought into the show, point counterpoint. Or Boom versus the Red. Today's topic is gonna be the Daniel Penny thing. Okay. Lynn, you go first.
Thank you, Polly. Jordan Neely did something he shouldn't have done on that train. He was stomping around there, making threats. Jordan Neely was a man who had some problems in his life. And that would be the last time he'd ever live. And Daniel Penny put his arms around his neck and killed him. That's what happened. Being a pain in the ass on the train, it's not a death penalty, but apparently it was here. This trial was political. I understand that a lot of people are upset by the homeless in causing trouble in the city, but that's no excuse for what Daniel Penny did. He should have been charged and found guilty. But he was charged, but wasn't found guilty of second-degree manslaughter, because that's what it was. I'm sorry, Polly, but that's what it was. He had the man in a chokehold, and he didn't let up till he was dead. Now, maybe I understand that there's some circumstances here, but also, he killed the man. You have to, you can't get around that. I mean, he's lucky he was only second-degree manslaughter. Okay, the jury decided, what the heck? We got a problem here, and for politics, let's find him innocent. Because it was a political verdict, for sure. It wasn't justice. If it was justice, he would be found guilty of what he did. He killed Jordan Neely. It's easy to like Daniel Penny, especially for us. He's a white guy, he's tall, ex-Marine, and of course Jordan Penny was on the downs. Between all these people that are overlooked. So many people like this in New York City. I wish our incompetent government could do something about them. But I don't think killing them is quite the answer. Okay. Good Polly, it's up to you.
Thank you, Lynn. let me say this. I'll concede your point that Penny put the man in a chokehold too long. I thought that when I first saw it. That other people have said, let up a little bit, and he didn't. It caused the man's death. That, and of course, the guy was on drugs and a psycho. But, even so, don't say this trial wasn't political, because originally, as I understand it, they weren't going to charge him. But Alvin Bragg came in there and says, oh yeah, you charge him. This is exactly what he wants. A white man strangling a black man. Oh, this was right up Bragg's alley. He's a racist hustler, and this went with the narrative. So, we have a trial. And, as you know, the jury decided that, but don't say that it wasn't a political trial. The second Bragg intervened, it was political. And he had a political motivation for this. And the jury understood that. If they found Perry guilty, it would be a warning to everyone who tries to intervene. I mean, I'm in New York City. I ride the subway to work. Every day I go to work. I ride to and fro, and I work the 4 to 12 shift. And believe me, there's some kind of weirdos on that train. Just the other day, I go in to take by at nighttime. I go into the car to train there to go. Like I take 2 trains, and it's a bad sign when there's no one else in the car but it's one guy. Normally I would just walk out, but I wasn't paying attention. This guy was screaming at the top of his lungs. I don't know if he was dangerous or not, but for that one stop there, I had this idiot there just screaming. Got to the next station. I got out of the car there. I went to the next car. But this happens too often. Too many times we got these idiots here. And this is why the Penny verdict was so important. I can't defend myself against these guys. Women and old men, and kids, and these are the people they go after. The ones that look helpless. And I have to rely upon the Daniel Pennies to help me out. If they don't help me out, I can't be armed. It's against the law here to defend yourself, really. I rely upon the strength of strangers to protect me. That's a terrible situation to be in, but this is the situation I'm in New York City. So yes, maybe Penny squeezed a little more than he should have. It was justice, though. Rough justice, but justice. Okay, that was my 2 cents. Pull out. Okay, let's wrap this up. I watched the 2nd annual VTuber Award show. I seen clips of the one last year, and decided to watch the whole thing this year. I watched it on a stream. I think it was Kirsch's stream, and I was really surprised by it, pleasantly surprised. These award shows like the Academy Awards, Golden Globe Awards, ones with the music thingy, then with they're all terrible. I mean, honest, they're boring. This one was really good. I mean, VTubing is something that's new. We're like the early days of TV. And that we could effectively do a show like this, I thought was really impressive. It shows the potential that we VTubers have. Now, nearly I didn't know 90% of the characters that were presented awards were rough awards. I'm a small VTuber, I don't know anyone. But I was happy for the show. I was happy for the people that won. This is, I think, I tell you what, if you haven't seen it, go see it, and you'll see what I'm talking about. The visuals were impressive, special effects were impressive, Fillion was the host, and even though she's a little chaotic at her own stream, boy, she's a very good MC, and I really enjoyed it. And maybe someday I'll be up there, people won't applaud, oh, Polly gets an award. Hell, if not, oh well. Be like Bob Hope. Okay, this is Polly. Would you please subscribe? Okay, goodbye.